What's up guys, welcome back to the Cheesy Does It cooking vlog. Today I'm showing you how to make an Italian Bolognese sauce. I'm focusing on the traditional Italian, however if you want to mix it up you can add cream to make it French, some hot sauce to make it Mexican, Bologna for American, or a fresh dog to make it Asian. When making a Bolognese, you can use a wide variety of meats including beef, pork, or lamb. I'm using an all beef blend of New York steak and tri-tip. We need to grind this up and turn it into ground beef, but this isn't ground beef, this is ground beef. The first step is to brown your meat. Use a pot that has a thick bottom like this Dutch oven. It works best for browning. Add in some olive pepe, then your ground beef. The key is to mix your meat constantly so that it doesn't burn and you break down the meat chunks into smaller pieces for a more consistent sauce. Also use a wooden mixing tool because you're going to be scraping the bottom a lot. I'm using a spoon and I know for a fact that this is a spoon because on the back it says spoon. In a couple minutes you're going to hear a lot of bubbling. What's happening is the water is exiting the meat. Get the water out to deepen the flavor of the meat. While it's browning, let's cut up some veggies. Here I have garlic, onions, celery, and carrots. But before we move on, let me tell you a little story about Christopher Carrot. Christopher had it all. He made it into Princeton on a full-ride scholarship rowing crew, secured a high-paying job as a stockbroker, he even married Carrie, the prom queen, and had a baby Carrot. Yes, things were going swell for Christopher, but then the flash crash of '92 happened. Christopher lost everything. He spiraled out of control, got into drugs and strippers, and fell into a deep depression. It was all gone. The money, the house, Carrie took the kid. He now wore a boot on his head because all he wanted was to fit in. There he was, pantless on the streets, with his tickle pickle floating aimlessly in the urban breeze. Then it hit him. None of this matters. We're all just pawns living in a material world. You can try your whole life to do it all right, but your life is pre-planned and inevitable. He decided he was going to leave it all. Pack his bags, open a coconut stand in Reseda. He even left the wife and kids. He simply didn't care at all. Make sure you peel your carrots because the outside skin layer tends to be very bitter. To properly use a peeler, you gently start at the top and peel downwards. Then pick off that peeled piece, then peel more, until the entire carrot is peeled. After 2 hours, we're gonna mince the veggies. I recommend using a food processor instead of chopping with a knife. It's much faster and makes up for the time lost peeling carrots. There. Minced. Next you want to add a tomato base. I'm using San Marzano tomatoes with their sauce. Make sure you first remove this tomato poo-poo before crushing. Now you can crush them up with one of these puree thingies, or if you're lonely like me, you can just use your hands because this is the closest you'll ever get to touching a woman or a man. At this point, most of the water in your meat should be cooked off now that the fat is rendering. Keep scrubbing the bottom. You have to make sure those brown bits come off the bottom. Those are your flavor crystals. That crackling noise you hear is good. That means it's finally browning. Let it keep cracking. Let's add in the minced veggies. Now I know this looks like a lot of veggies, but don't worry. First of all, we're gonna sweat out most of the water and it'll cook down. Second, the vegans need food too. This will appease them. While this is cooking out, you're gonna season. Add about 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of crackety blackety pepper, and 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Cook out the paste for a minute before the next step. Also, I want to apologize for all the smoke from the beef. Apparently, I found America's only vaping cow. Smoke weed every day. Next, add a whole bottle of white wine. But first, story time. When I was 14, I dropped out of middle school and told everyone I was going to be a YouTube star and make millions. They were like, it's 1983, what the hell is YouTube? Don't question me, nerd. Go teach your Scientology to some other sucker, you bean counting laundry folding son of a bitch. Fast forward to 2019, and I just got my first YouTube check, baby. $4.35, which is like $2.94 after taxes. But wait till they see me now. Stir the sludge and cook off all the alcohol. You can tell it's cooking because you can smell it. By the way, pro tip, if you want to be a skinny bitch but still party, huff your booze. Next, I'm adding some homemade beef stock to our crushed tomatoes. Now we need some fresh herbs. Here I have thyme, some bay leaves, dried oregano, salt to taste, crackety blackety, and a touch of balsamic vinegar. Now these next steps are optional. If you've seen my videos before, I'm a big fan of adding bone marrow to a beef-based soup. Something about it gives it that beefy pho flavor. I love it. Second optional item is spiciness. I love it in my Bolognese. Usually I would use some sort of red chili flake or some cayenne, but today I have a special guest, a Carolina Reaper pepper, the hottest pepper on the planet. Give it all a mix, then let it simmer on low, heat uncovered for 2 hours. Meanwhile, prepare your butthole. Okay, it's been 2 hours. As you can see, the sauce is reduced down to a very thick mixture. This is up to you. I personally like it thick. If you want it to be a little more saucy or watery, I would put a cap on the pot while it's simmering. At this point, you want to season to taste. I added a little bit more S&P because I ain't no snitch. Now that the sauce is done, make sure you remove things like bay leaves or the marrow bone or wait, what is that? Uh-oh. Okay, now I'm gonna whip up a quick pasta. Start with some butter in a pan, then add cooked pasta. You can use whatever you want, spaghetti, linguine, penne. I'm using wheels because A, I like to go fast, and B, my mom says I'm special. Ladle in some sauce and some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I gave this cheese a grade of B+, as a reminder to be positive. And there you have it, a freshly made Bolognese sauce. Guys, this sauce is everything you want it to be. Very savory and meaty, but you still taste fresh tomato. It's amazing. Fun fact, did you know that it's not actually a sauce? When you cook it with meat, it's technically a gravy, so we made meat gravy. Speaking of gravy, something is on fire in my mouth right now. Oh God. Oh no. Oh God. That's it for today, guys. Make sure you look at this. Follow me everywhere at Cheesy Does It Cooking. Okay, so maybe I didn't eat the pepper, but I found somebody who would.
Should we make him sign a waiver or something?
Yeah, do we get like workers' comp or something?
Don't eat the
Oh my God.
please. Oh, look at it.
No, you're right.
It kind of tastes like nothing. I think I'm good. I will say it's definitely hot, and it's getting hotter, so I'm getting kind of worried.
There's no way you would.
How does Amazon? You look unfazed. No, your hands are red.
Oh my God, you're getting sweaty.
Get that towel. Give him that towel.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tell me what you hate about me. Whatever it is, I'm
Sean, thanks for eating that.
problem.
Oh, shit. I wasn't recording.
What?